It is bright and early here in Seoul, South Korea, and I'm about to head to the DMZ, the Demilitarized Zone, between the north and the south. Don't really know what to expect. This should be a long, interesting day. Gonna see some history, gonna see some cool things. So let's head to North Korea. So the drive didn't actually take that long, maybe like an hour. Where I was staying in Myeongdong, I was picked up at Myeongdong Station. We got on this bus with essentially this like retired South Korean military officer who was like our guide for the day. This was the first like stop of it, and because the borders for the DMZ, like the north and south, have switched so many times, there's a lot of these kind of remaining borders and security measures that have been in place from over the years. First off, to kind of get like a little bit of a history of the relations, of like the changing in borders and kind of like the process of how like post World War II, how this ended up happening, and the kind of like the split between the north being supported by the Soviets, and then the south being supported by like the Allies, and kind of the conflict that began pretty much immediately after World War II and is essentially still ongoing. Kind of a cool experience to see this. Not a ton really to do in this area, but more so just like exploring on your own and reading like the plaques and reading kind of what everything here was, and you can still see the bridges that they ended up using for like transporting people, transporting supplies, everything like that during the last I guess like 7-8 decades. And he was saying like the guy was helping South Korea, but he got stranded over there or something. All right, now I'm walking around Imjingak. Not really sure how you pronounce it, but this is the pedestrian railroad here that I guess they built to move back and forth between the north and the south. You can't access it currently. I'm just kind of like walking underneath it. I'm not really sure what this area is like called. No one else on my tour is coming over here, but it looked like a kind of a cool walk. So this is not technically in the north at all. This is just like, I think like 5 kilometers away from the border. But this was at one point in history like the pedestrian bridge to get between the north and the south. So it's kind of cool still to see. This area has like the train that you just saw before this, and basically that was a way that they moved people and cargo, it sounded like, between both the north and the south. So that was like a way to get things from point A to point B. Yeah, apparently it was blown up at some point, and then the bridges have been rebuilt a whole bunch of times. Honestly, I wasn't really following too much about what he was saying, but yeah, so far it's kind of a cool little place. We're not quite at the DMZ just yet, which is going to be where we're able to actually like look in the telescopes and see the north, which is going to be super cool. So I'm gonna go see if I can find a magnet from the DMZ, maybe something like that, to bring back home to my mom. But yeah, this is kind of a cool little walkway so far. Yeah, if you are coming over here, definitely recommend just kind of taking a break. This crowd has been a lot also already, so kind of nice to have a moment of reprieve. So yeah, I'm gonna head back up and see what I can find from Mama Bear. So this is basically the tourist information area of this like recreational area. There really isn't a whole lot to see here, to be honest. We kind of walked around most of it. It's mostly like the lake and the shrines and that kind of thing. A lot of it's roped off right now too. I don't know if it's like under construction this time of year or something, but really wasn't a ton to see. So I just got some snacks for the bus ride because it's going to be another like 6 hours, so I can have some actual sustenance, some actual food. But yeah, this place is kind of cool, like a little teaser, I hope, before like going to the actual DMZ where you can see into North Korea. But yeah, this is, I don't know. Now I'm gonna walk over here. This looks like, I don't know, some kind of memorial with the flags of the countries that helped during. It looks like it's just Korean and American flags, actually, now that I stand corrected. So it's probably to do with because there's 2 different things. Like there's like the Korean War and the 16 countries that helped with that. And then there's also just like a lot of American pride here for the US's involvement in building a lot of these resources and like kind of coming to the aid of Korea for a very, very long time and still being stationed here. I think there's still like thousands of troops deployed. A little tram thing that I don't think is running, but kind of like just does a loop around this little memorial, which is kind of, this is what it looks like.
Poised over the shining one, and down the mountain of the third tunnel. Here is truly and then
So yeah, honestly not a ton to see in this area. So I'm gonna head back to the bus because it's starting to get pretty hot. Eat my snacks, and then I think we're heading to the DMZ next. So let's go check it out.
Wow. Privilege that mutual of their diversity. Oh, I'm so yeah, go. Very not a this weather.
I just got out of the third tunnel hike, and I'm like in front of the DMZ here. They kind of don't tell you how intense that hike is. It's like 400 meters on an incline down, and then 400 meters back up. It's very, very claustrophobic. Like if you're not good with close spaces, that's going to be pretty tough for you. It's also pretty intense. Like if you're not able to do like incline on the treadmill for like 20 minutes, I wouldn't recommend doing that. It's very, very low as well. If you're super tall. Yeah, it's kind of cool. You're not allowed any recording devices or cameras in there, so I wasn't able to get any footage actually inside the thing. You basically lock everything up before you go in. But yeah, pretty cool. I would recommend it. I'm gonna explore a little bit more around this like DMZ, get some photos, and then yeah, we'll see from there. So after looking around a little bit further, it turns out there's actually like a monorail thing that's not running right now, but I guess this would go down in that tunnel to the end where I just walked down, and then I guess you can take the monorail back up if you don't want to have to do that hike, because that was more intense than you think, eh?
It was, oh yeah.
How long do you think it took us to do that hike?
It's like 400 meters, 350 meters, I think.
So like maybe like 20.
So the way up was brutal.
The way down was like what, 10 minutes? Way up like 20?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Worth it though. Good vibes, good story to tell. Sweaty as all hell. I can't imagine doing this on like a proper, like a heater of a day. Like this isn't really even that hot. Yeah, like if it was like 35, 40, this would be fucking disgusting. It's also like kind of sus that there's no railings on this.
This too, this is sketchy as fuck. It'd be so fun though. I would do it.
You can't go fast, but I wonder why it's not working.
The cats.
All right, just got out of the viewing area from like the observation deck, and you're not allowed any filming or photography or videos of any kind, so it's kind of hard to get, really you can't get any footage in there. So now I'm in the Unification Village, which is like, I guess like the end of this day trip / tour, which it's kind of cool. You get to go by the army barracks on the way out. You're not allowed also to take any photos of that. I don't know what's down here. Oh, that's cool. It's kind of like a little garden / farming area. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's yeah, I mean, you can't really see much. Like you can, even with like the fancy binoculars, you can't really see what's going on in there. Really hard to tell if there's any cars. Like there's really didn't look like there's any movement on the ground in North Korea. You can see the flag moving, and then they have apparently like they're describing like the village that's closest that you can see is meant to be like a propaganda village to make it look like there's more population than there is, and there's more like military than there actually is. So yeah, it's what you think. It's very ambiguous. Nobody really knows what the what you're supposed to be looking at when you're watching it. But yeah, overall it's pretty cool. I would say it's worth. This was not a very expensive tour. It didn't take long to get out here. I think it's cool and it's unique to see like the history and what happened between like the two countries, and like America's role in like essentially like getting Korea's freedom back into where it is now. It's really, I don't know, it's kind of anticlimactic, to be honest. I would do it like once. I would never do this day trip again. Probably cool to go into actual Korea and see it itself, but from where you're viewing it in this kind of day trip, you're not able really to see as much as you'd want. So yeah, that's pretty much going to be the end of the day trip to the DMZ, to the Demilitarized Zone. Yeah, I mean, cool experience. I'm not sure I would recommend doing it multiple times, but definitely worth the day trip. It costs like $45 to come out here. Doesn't take too long. I left at 8 a.m. this morning. It's now like 1:30, and we're about to head back to Seoul, back to downtown. So yeah, didn't really take too long to get out here. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this video was useful. If it was, feel free to leave a like or comment in the section below. Always helps the algorithm. As always, my name's Alex. Welcome back to Lifting Nomad. See you in the next one. Peace.